You probably already know all about the White House, but have you ever wondered if there's any official residence out there that's actually richer or fancier than it? In this video, we're going to compare the homes of presidents from around the world to the White House itself. Let's kick things off with Buckingham Palace, home of the king, but don't think it's just a pretty house. This place has been the royal residence since 1837, and it's still the official home of the British monarchy. It's massive, full of rooms, grand halls, and a whole bunch of rules. These traditions run deep, right down to the dinner table. Every little detail is planned out, from the silverware to the order of the dishes. The famous balcony where the royal family waves to the public on special occasions. It's right out front and has basically become a global icon. Inside, the palace is stunning. Think glittering chandeliers, fancy rooms, and a grand ballroom used for major events. But one of the coolest parts is outside, the gardens. They're actually the largest private gardens in all of London, complete with lakes, event spaces, and even beehives. Yup, they make their own honey. Now, let's hop over to another stunning spot, the Quirino Palace in Rome. This one sits high on a hill with a postcard-worthy view of the city. Inside, it's massive. We're talking over 1,000 rooms and endless hallways. If the White House is all about practicality and modern vibes, the Quirinal is all about tradition. Everything tells a story, from the carpets to the frescoes on the ceilings. Each room has a name, a purpose, and a style that reflects centuries of Italian culture. Outside, there's a changing of the guard in the main courtyard, and gardens so perfect they look like oil paintings. This palace isn't just a building, it's Italy keeping its history alive every single day. And here's a cool fact, before it became the presidential home, it used to house popes, kings, and emperors. That explains all the deep-rooted traditions. If you thought that was impressive, just wait till you see the next one, the Elise Palace in France. This is where the French president lives, works, and makes big decisions. Since 1848, it's been the heart of French power, kind of like France's version of the White House, packed with strategic rooms and high-stakes meetings, but with a whole different vibe. From the outside, the Elysee has that classic 18th century elegance. Step inside, and it's straight-up luxury. High ceilings, gold details, and thick carpets. The president works out of the famous Salon Doré, a room so fancy it looks like it came from a movie set. Unlike the sleek, modern Oval Office, the Elysee oozes tradition in every corner. Still, it's fully equipped with cutting-edge tech, secure rooms, and top-level protection. And while the White House is surrounded by heavy security walls, the Elysee sits right in the middle of Paris, just a short walk from the Champs-Élysées. Out back, there's a peaceful garden where the president can take a stroll or hold meetings in the open air. But what the Russian president's house and the White House have in common is gonna blow your mind. Before we get into that, let's check out a place that's way more under the radar, almost a secret. We're heading to Aso Rock Villa, the official residence of Nigeria's president. Far from the glitzy palaces of Europe, Aso Rock Villa is all about keeping things low-key. It's tucked away in Abuja, right at the base of the massive rock it's named after. This place is where the president lives and runs the country. No gold or fancy chandeliers here. It's sleek, modern, and built for function. Think of it as Nigeria's version of the White House, but with less flair and more privacy. Everything happens out of the spotlight, with restricted access and a tightly protected routine. Inside, the space is a balance between comfort and business, but very little is ever shown to the public. And maybe that silence is what makes it so powerful. Aso Rock doesn't need attention to prove who's in charge. Another place that keeps things subtle is the Kante, the home and headquarters of Japan's prime minister. Right in the middle of Tokyo, it blends into the cityscape so well you might walk right past it. Unlike the flashy or historic official residences out there, the Kante is all about minimalism, modern design, and quiet strength. Opened in 2002, the building is peak Japanese. Clean lines, high-tech, and extremely efficient. The glass and concrete exterior sets the tone, and inside, every inch is designed for maximum function. Nothing flashy, just smart. There are secure rooms for meetings, media centers, private areas, and operation zones. But the wildest part, it's got a bunker underground, fully equipped with escape routes and defense systems against chemical, biological, or nuclear threats. Outside, traditional Japanese gardens create a sense of calm, with ponds, stones, and carefully shaped trees. Elite security, constant surveillance, and tight access keep it all locked down. Here's one that not many people know about, the official residence of Spain's Prime Minister, La Moncloa Palace. It's in Madrid, surrounded by greenery and set away from the touristy parts of the city, almost hidden. Unlike Europe's old palaces with all their grandeur, La Moncloa feels more modern, straightforward, and practical. It actually started out as a countryside estate back in the 1600s and only became the seat of government in the 1970s after Spain's dictatorship ended. From the outside, it looks like an elegant mansion, but inside it's all business. Meeting rooms, press areas, private offices, even a chapel. If we're comparing it to the White House, both serve as the executive HQ and the official home of the head of government. But La Moncloa is more low-key and informal. It's not really a symbol of the nation, it's more of a functional workspace. It's where things get done quietly, but with authority. In Caracas, you'll find the Miraflores Palace. It's both the seat of government and the official residence of Venezuela's president. It opened in 1914, and it's where major decisions get made, and sometimes where political storms unfold. The outside has that classic colonial look with white columns and a stately vibe. Inside, it's a mix of tradition and practicality, with big rooms and national symbols everywhere you look. While some palaces are famous for their beauty or gardens, Miraflores stands out for its history. It's been the stage for big speeches, live broadcasts, and even attempted coups. The Ayacucho room, where diplomatic events are held, has a serious formal atmosphere. Even though it's right in the middle of a noisy city, the palace has inner courtyards with fountains and quiet gardens. Security is tight. Soldiers, barriers, constant protection. Miraflores may not be the flashiest, but it's definitely one of the most iconic spots in Latin America, and that says a lot. In Brazil, the president doesn't have just one official residence. There are two, Palácio do Planalto and Palácio da Alvorada. The Planalto in Brasilia is where the president works. That's where the offices, meeting rooms, ceremonial halls, and big government decisions happen. The Alvorada is also in Brasilia, right on the edge of Lake Paranoa. It's the official residence with wide gardens and striking architecture. Both were designed by Oscar Niemeyer and are symbols of modern Brazilian architecture. Clean lines, white columns, glass, concrete, and a futuristic flair. While the White House is all about tradition and symbolism, Brazil's palaces focus on lightness, modernity, and literal transparency. The wide glass facades reflect the idea of an open government, even if in practice it doesn't always work that way. Together, Planalto and Alvorada represent Brazilian-style power, bold in design, strong in identity. Now, this next place looks like a movie set, but it's real, and it's in Abu Dhabi, in the United Arab Emirates. It's called Qasr Al Watan, the presidential palace of the UAE, and unlike other centers of power that keep things low-key, this one was clearly built to impress, and oh, it delivers. Outside, it's all white marble, golden domes, and intricate columns. Inside, it's massive and stunning. Right at the center is a huge hall with a dome that's 37 meters wide and a chandelier with 350,000 crystals. There are giant libraries, rooms for signing laws, and spaces to welcome world leaders. Even though it looks ancient, it only opened in 2019, and it's already a bold symbol of the Emirates' power. While places like the White House and Elise Palace keep it more understated, Qasr Al Watan does the opposite. It puts everything on display. Power everywhere you look, in every mosaic, every room, every carved door. And speaking of luxury, Turkey's presidential palace takes it to another level. Like, forget the traditional idea of a palace. This place is next level extravagant. Opened in 2014, it blends modern architecture with Ottoman elements, and it's already considered one of the most impressive and controversial buildings in the world. There are over 1,100 rooms, massive columns, where the White House is practical and Buckingham is steeped in tradition. This place is all about showcasing power. Nothing about it is subtle. The complex includes high-tech meeting halls, advanced conference centers, and even a bunker designed to withstand nuclear attacks. Security is extreme, constant surveillance, armed guards, reinforced barriers. Visitors, rare. If you're inside, you're there for a reason. It's more than just a home. It's a clear symbol of Turkish governmental strength. Now, if there's a building in South America that really carries the weight of history, it's the Palacio de la Moneda in Santiago, Chile. Right in the heart of the city, La Moneda isn't just where the president works. It's where Chile's past and present come together. From the outside, it looks calm and elegant, with wide columns and a classical style. But inside, it's been the setting for major decisions that changed the country. Interestingly, it was originally a mint in the 1700s. That's where the name comes from, and only became the government headquarters in 1846. Compared to the White House, it's more discreet, not flashy, but definitely powerful. In 1973, it was bombed during the military coup, and President Salvador Allende spent his final moments there. That event left a deep mark on the building and the country. Even so, La Moneda carried on. Today it has modern rooms and ceremonial spaces. And what's most interesting, despite all the history and security, it's still accessible. Tourists take photos, and the changing of the guard is open to the public. Now, this next one isn't just big, it's mind-blowing. We're talking about the official residence of the President of India, the Rashtrapati Bhavan, right in the heart of New Delhi. Calling this a residence feels like an understatement. With over 130 hectares of gardens and hundreds of rooms, it's one of the largest and most impressive presidential palaces in the world. The architecture features grand columns, domes inspired by the Pantheon, and a blend of Indian tradition with European influence. Inside, it's like something out of a movie. Sweeping staircases, elegant halls, and artwork everywhere. But the real highlight is outside, the Mughal gardens. They're incredibly detailed, filled with rare flowers and symmetrical paths. They even open to the public for a few weeks each year, turning royal beauty into a shared experience. And now, one of the most anticipated, right in the heart of Russia, surrounded by red walls and pointed towers, is one of the world's most famous and most secretive centers of power, the Kremlin. Contrary to what a lot of people think, the Kremlin isn't just one building, it's an entire complex in the center of Moscow. Inside, there are palaces, cathedrals, towers, and the official residence of the President of Russia. From the outside, it looks like an old fortress, and it is. The walls date back to the 15th century, and the place has seen it all. Today, it's where the past and present collide. While the White House represents openness and diplomacy, the Kremlin gives off a more closed-off, powerful vibe. Security is intense, access is limited, surveillance is constant. Inside, decisions get made far from the spotlight, in luxurious halls filled with marble, tapestries, and national symbols. The Grand Kremlin Palace hosts ceremonies, state dinners, and meetings with global leaders. And now, after all these golden ceilings, royal gardens, and halls that feel like fairy tales, we arrive at the White House. Right in the political heart of Washington, D.C., it's been the president's home and workplace for over 200 years. Unlike some government buildings that try to impress with size or shine, the White House keeps things simple. Its white facade, classic columns, and clean lines have become a symbol of Republican power, and the inside matches that tone. Elegant, but never over the top. The rooms are formal, decorated with historic furniture, portraits of past presidents, and designed for big decisions, meetings, and hosting world leaders. It doesn't have the golden flair of Qasr al-Watan or the massive scale of Rashtrapati Bhavan, and it's definitely not as ceremonially grand as Buckingham. But here's the thing, the White House stands out in a different way. Its real power lies in what it represents. It's more than just a pretty building. It's the face of American leadership. Every room has a purpose. Every detail, no matter how subtle, serves a function. And with all of that, one thing's clear. The White House may not be the most luxurious palace in the world, but when it comes to fame, it wins. No contest.